Alright, in the top left, we're going to have our green Zerg Sone against our purple Terran in the bottom right, FatalBlur. Alright, this is going to be in our platinum bracket of our Mayflowers tournament. We're going to learn a little bit about these players. FatalBlur from Rhode Island, another New Englander. Lots of people in New England. You guys should all hold a convention or something. Or you should all just come to Vegas, because Vegas is pretty awesome. He does love his Hellbats, and what he is doing when he's not playing StarCraft? Well, he didn't answer, so he's probably actually Batman. That is my theory. FatalBlur is actually Batman. Meanwhile, Sone is going to be from... Where is he? He is from Beantown. I don't know what that means. If somebody could decipher that, that would be awesome. He is also in love with Widow Mines, because when I beat Terran, I feel like I just beat Chuck Norris himself. So Sone, while he plays Zerg, he loves those Widow Mines because beating them is pretty awesome. When he is not playing StarCraft, he does something that I, again, cannot say on stream. Let's just say he really loves Day 9. And he does love his pink, but he did not actually manage to get that color. So sad. Alright, so, going to see a TVZ. The map is Belshire Vestige. Getting a pool first from Sone. That is interesting, actually. Against Terran, against Terran, you usually want to have that early hatch rate. And I'm getting an update here. Beantown equals Boston. Alright, from Boston. So we have more New Englanders. So many New Englanders. Oh, makes me feel all nostalgic. Again, I grew up in Connecticut. There are a few things I miss. I do miss the bagels. Oh my god, the bagels are so amazing out east. Out here, they're just kind of sad little farces in a donut shape. Fatal not going for an early gas, likely to be going for an early expansion, which will be spotted if he tries it on the low ground with Sone's Overlord moving right into position. That Marine does want to see that Overlord, but will not. And yes, there is the very quick expansion from FatalBlur. Very bold expansion as well, especially with this pool first is going to actually give Sone slightly an opportunity to do some sort of punishment to this low ground expansion. This is so dangerous to do basically at any point. There's a very small amount of time if you build it up in your main to just fly it on down. Not a huge difference, but this is so much riskier. Hatchery down for Sone. And Zerglings will be scouting out. Does he see? No, this Overlord actually did not see that expansion. That is huge. So this window of opportunity that he has is closing very quickly with this bunker that is building. This is basically the countdown to how much longer he has before a bunch of Zerglings could go in and wipe out plenty of FatalBlur's forces. Two Zerglings coming in, and they will just barely escape that Zergling. So lucky, 1 HP Zergling. That regeneration saving his little Zergling behind. 2 gases now up for Fatal. We'll be seeing some tech on the way shortly. Reactor coming down. Could see a factory. Yes, there is the factory. Likely going to swap in for that reactor. The timing is a little bit off. Not a huge deal, though. Overlord coming in. Will want to scout in from the top shortly. Also good to spot drops with. Should be seeing, yes, there are the double Marines coming out at a time. Bunker is up at the front. Would like to see a wall off started, but should be okay for now, especially with Sone so focused on this economy. He does have gas coming up, though. And with a bit of a gas bank, he hasn't actually spent any of it. He has not started speed or lair, or a Baneling Nest, or an Evolution Chamber. Needs to do something with all that gas that he's been getting. Lots of drones on the way. But again, still nothing with that gas. Do love, by the way, this extra queen. Dedicated creep spread with a queen. Absolutely fantastic. Every Zerg should be doing that. Creep spread's so important. Would also like to see, however, 1 creep tumor here. Actually get it back up into the base. Get those bases connected. Very important against Banshees. As rare as those seem to be in TVZ these days. At least Banshees in the mineral line. You see a lot of Banshee Hellion attacks up at the front, but I digress. Alright, speed is on the way, and Burrow. Ooh, Burrow is on the way before Lair even started. or at least about the same time. Very interesting indeed. And a Roach Warren. We're going to see some burrowed Roach shenanigans, it looks like. Might be going for burrow and then possibly tunneling claws. I can speak. Alright. We're good. We are good. Alright, FatalBlur, a little bit of a supply block, building a bunch of depots at once. We'll be okay now. Got some Hellbats out on the way, as well as some medevacs that could be going for that devastating Hellbat drop. Oh, and we do have plus vehicle attack. Ooh, might be going mech in the end. FatalBlur doing some mech play here. Would love to see that. But we are seeing Marauder as well, so I'm not entirely sure where he's going with that. We will see as the game develops. Lots and lots of vision for FatalBlur. Interesting. Overlords will be able to see a little bit out here, but with this control of the watchtowers, there's not really much the Zerg can do to actually see this. All these fastlings, they could catch these lone Hellions, but he's not making that much of an effort to actually get out on the map and see beyond what he can see with these Overlords right now. This Overlord will see these gases being taken. That's not going to tell him a whole heck of a lot. More factories going down. This is a mech play, as well as another command center. Love this. He is going to scout that. There is another factory coming down, so he should be fully aware now that there is mech on the way. He's building a bunch of roaches. Some spore crawlers on the way, because he knows that Widowmine drop is going to be a definite possibility. Hellbat drop in the mineral line. The Hellbat's not actually attacking the drones. Oh, the drones are so weak. Oh, they all are clumped up. Can they turn around and move and attack? Oh, they are so close. One swipe. Two swipes, he does get a huge hit, but was it worth it? How many drones did he get? 7 drones. For 200 minerals, I would say that was definitely worth it, but he could have gotten so much more. That was so dicey for Sone. Spore Crawler now moving in here to stop those Hellbat drops, or at least deter them for a little bit. And by 200 minerals, I mean 400 minerals, because there were 2 medevacs worth of Hellbats. Oh, will that Spore? Oh, that Spore wants to kill that medevac so badly. It's so close to death, but it will escape. More Hellbats in the works. Hellbat Marauder. Interesting composition. Very good against everything ground that Zerg has, for the most part, in the early game at least. No third yet for Sone. That could be very interesting. And FatalBlur having the same thought. Is there a third? No, there is not. And that should tip FatalBlur that there is something weird going on. Likely to be some aggression. And by some aggression, I mean 15 frickin' roaches with speed on the way and upgrades on the way as well. +1 attack is done, however, for FatalBlur, so he will have a bit of an upgrade advantage, but roaches do pretty okay against Hellbats. Nothing really super counter to Hellbat, but roaches are about as close as you can get. No, as I say, no tanks. A tank rolls down the ramp, so he will be able to fend this off pretty easily. Lots of roaches, but needs to actually consolidate his forces, and that is exactly what he's doing. Those Lings should be joining the battle as well, even if they will be burned up very quickly by the Hellbats. Could do a very quick run by. Tank sieging up. We'll get a huge hit off on the roaches, but will it be enough? There's a lot of roaches in this pack. They're taking down. Even the medevacs cannot heal those Hellbats quick enough, and a little indecision will cost actually a couple roaches because of those because of that tank splash. Roaches now will be moving in. There's no repair on that bunker. Bunker has gone down. There is healing on the Marauders, but the Marauders just not quite enough. Are there reinforcements coming in? Lots of Banelings coming in for Sone. Now that the Hellbats are gone and there are no tanks, there's no splash hammers, there's nothing to stop those Banelings. The Banelings will be moving in and doing so much damage to that SCV line. And here comes the third now for Sone. Sone is expanding behind this. This isn't an all-in, but it is a very brutal attack. The SCVs have been pulled just in time, but this is going to do a lot of damage. Baneling speed just finishing just now. This supply dropped. Both of these are these both supply dropped? No, they're not. One is supply dropped, however, so that will be a lot of supply lost when the Banelings hit it. Tons of supply lost. It will not quite supply block FatalBlur, but it will be pretty damn close. A Thor comes out, will immediately be surrounded by Zerglings. He might just barely hold this off. He needs some Hellbats. Hellbats have come out, but so many SCVs have gone down. How many SCVs have gone down? 18 SCVs have died so far to this attack, and it is just non-stop. Both players at very low supplies. Terran with a bit more of a bank. FatalBlur actually has more supply than the Zerg, so this attack, while it's done a lot of damage, how much has he really lost? How much has he sacrificed? He has sacrificed more in terms of resources, so FatalBlur, while that looked absolutely terrifying, if he can stabilize from here, he actually will be well in the lead. Zergling coming in to scout out. Not much else can really come in from behind this. A couple more Zerglings coming in. And, oh, he does know about this base. This Zergling down here will find it out. And these mules, these freshly dropped mules, will get taken out. And this base does need to lift off. Oh, and a lot of SCVs, and very unfortunate timing for that. The base does not lift off. It is burning down now. It needs to be repaired, but can it be repaired in time? No, it is actually just going to go down. That base is gone. Third base down for Sone. Sone is now back in this game himself. He is still behind in supply by a fair amount, but if he can keep up the pressure, he might have a chance. This base is now up and running once again. Does need to get these guys in gas pretty quickly. More upgrades coming up for Sone. More drones coming up for Sone. How many drones does he have? 31 drones to 47 SCVs. Oh my god. Sone has put so much into this attack that he has not had the economy to back it up. So while there's been so much damage to FatalBlur, FatalBlur has the vastly superior economy, and he can just continually outproduce. And on top of that, he has been more cost efficient. FatalBlur is in a fantastic spot in this game. He has now spent all that bank, and he should be trying to retake that third shortly. He should be building another command center. Lots of factories up, but instead he is going for that counter push. Swarm hosts will be on the way. Enduring Locusts now in the bank for Sone. Sone going for another. Lots of Lings coming in, and oh, he does have an opening, but he's not going to take it. One Hellbat will scare off all those Lings. Lots of Banelings being made, and that Hellbat will now finally be taken out by... My god, Hellbats are good against Zerglings. Another Hellbat will help defend against this, but a lot of Banelings will be rolling in very shortly, and FatalBlur is now distracted by this attack. He needs to hold off this attack, but he is attacking at the same time. This is now a race. FatalBlur needs to hold on to this base. He has to hold on to this base. All those SCVs have gone down to all those Banelings. How many? 38 SCVs have been killed, but this base is now down. FatalBlur has traded a base for a base, but FatalBlur now on one base. No, he's still on two bases. This command center has survived. That is absolutely important. And this big push up in front with all these SCVs that can repair, as well as the Hellbats being healed and repaired by the medevacs, and some Thors to back it up for the anti-air if necessary. This could be it. Sone needs to hold this off. He needs to kill off those Hellbats, but he's clumping himself up for the Hellbats to do maximum damage against these roaches, and Hellbats actually do pretty significant damage. 22 damage per spray against roaches. 36 against a Zergling. Will one-shot a Zergling, just for the record, but there are just enough roaches to take that out. Beautiful pickup by FatalBlur. FatalBlur is going to get that Thor, likely going to get the next one as well. Doing a little bit of cute micro. Will get the other Thor as well. Needs to actually get out of there, though. He is getting a little bit too greedy, and he will be just fine. This game, an absolute slugfest, neck and neck. Zerg still behind in resources lost, and now behind in bases, in the sense that he has two bases to the Terran's two bases, and that is not where you want to be as Zerg. Lots more reinforcements now coming up for FatalBlur. Some SCVs up here to repair would be beautiful, because these Thors are so low, they could be taken out by just a few roach shots. And lots more roaches on the way for Sone. But with that tank there, that tank will help against big roach packs. That Thor is so low, 17 kill Thor does need to get repaired. But with these Hellbats now in the way, Hellbats straying a little bit too far from the medevacs will get picked off, and all these roaches might be able to fend them off. Hive is on the way, but he's not really going to have the economy to actually sustain any sort of Hive tech. He needs to actually push this back, get a base up for himself, and or at least kill FatalBlur's second, which he has managed to miraculously hold. Oh, can that Thor get saved? No, not quite. Medevacs do not do their heroic pickups once again, but it will be just too much for Sone to hold off, and Sone, his natural is now going to be under fire from these Thors. These Thors will do damage so quickly. All the drones have given up on this base. He's getting pushed back into his main, which is never a good spot as a Zerg. FatalBlur not building workers behind this, though. His natural is very not saturated at all. Some Swarm hosts coming out finally for Sone, but too little, too late. That natural is gone down, and a one-base Zerg is a dead Zerg, especially at the 21-minute mark. I don't even know if either player has really breached 100 supply in this game, though. It has just been absolute attack after attack, and FatalBlur just turns right around. Leaves some SCVs there, gift wraps them, says, here you go. Here's the consolation prize for killing your base. Have a few SCVs, hope they're tasty. But Sone now needs to take that base, needs to take a third base. And FatalBlur is taking a third base of his own. If he gets this up, that is sealing the deal. Our Tyrant now at twice the supply, as our Zerg never where he wants to be as a Zerg player. And that base taken down almost immediately. Swarm Host will come up, but not that good against 3 Thors. And again, these Thors so low on HP, 33 kill Thor, Commander Thor. And it has just been so cost efficient for FatalBlur. Infestation Pit has gone down. And yes, Gemini, I am streaming this. This exciting finale of this very, very action-packed TVZ. The spawning pool is about to go down. It's so close to dead, and it is gone. There is not much else for Sone to do. All those drones are hanging back, and there is the GG. FatalBlur takes the game.